Hello everyone, SkormsGhost here. In today's episode, we're gonna go around the Gilded Vale and see what we can find for additional quests to do. We already helped the blacksmith, so we must continue on, see if there's anyone else to help.
Sure.
Now that I've rested and all healed up and everything, we'll see if our friend Tenforth has anything to say. And he's still saying he will name a dish in my honor. So let's take a look at the map and see if there's anywhere we can visit. We'll start over here at Ufa's house. Alright, we'll talk to Ufa. A Daiwodian woman is standing in front of the fireplace humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, but she clearly is quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Hail, traveler.
Whoa, finally, I was starting to think. The woman makes a startled noise once she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was expecting someone else. She gives you a curious smile. Can I help you? I just arrived in Gilded Vale. Thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Back to Odama's by chance? You knew Odama? Well, no more than most here, I'd say. He doesn't usually come this way, but they say he's a reliable old fellow. She pauses, brow furrowing. Wait, why do you say new? I'm sorry, the caravan was attacked. I was the only one to survive. Arthur covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I knew. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Kaliska was always so certain she could take on any danger. Arthur sniffs. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. Okay, Kaliska was the person who was at the very beginning with us. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Arthur's face crumples, and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Kaliska mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide some assistance. Arthur looks at you with some surprise before dabbling at her nose with a sleeve. Dabbing at her nose with a sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favor. Arthur wipes her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Kaliska as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers and Lord Redrick. He's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. She sniffs. With my Hathort gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hope Kaliska could come help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child from being hollowborn, but she moved south to Ainslog's Compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else. Now with Kaliska gone, more tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? I'll find Ranga for you. Offer blinks wide. You will? Oh, God bless you. Here, I'll give you coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of the well. I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Ainslog's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wild to get there. That what keeps me from trying it myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She set the hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Oh, so we get to help someone else. I don't really want to touch anything in anyone else's house, especially when they're not hostile towards me. So we'll leave, see what else we can find in the city to do. Okay, we've already been in there. Been in there. We'll head to the windmill, see what we can do in there. This is Kareth Ioth and Edlin's house. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a crowded marketplace, vendor stalls lining the road. The proprietors' voices calling out to passersby to come sample their wares. This woman wanders through the throng, strolling hand in hand with another woman. They pursue the vendor's goods, tearing at a book merchant with a number of old and beautiful tomes, chatting with one another about what they see. One will pick up a book and show it to the other, who will take it, comment on it, and place it back on its shelf. And the first will snatch up the book again and quickly pay the merchant before the other can snatch it back. They walk away from the market, weighed down by packs filled with books, still hand in hand, standing close, comfortable and familiar with each other. As they pass down a somewhat deserted street, an object suddenly hits this woman in the chest and bounces off, rolling away towards one of the buildings. The woman stops and looks at the object, an apple, then back up at the person who threw it. There's nothing special about him aside from the angry look on his face and the two other apples he holds. Before either woman can move, the man draws back and throws another one at them, this time hitting the second woman in the forehead. He yelled at them, something derisive and hateful, something about a legacy and about responsibilities. The woman raises her hand to her head and wipes the juice and bits of fruit from her face and stares the man down defiantly. The first woman squeezes her hand and puts the other on her companion's shoulder, attempting to calm her down. The other woman pulls a book from her pack and holds it before her, muttering under her breath. She pulls her hands free and waves it above the book, an aura forming around her. The first woman's still trying to calm her down, but all she says goes unheard. The man, uncaring of the events happening in front of him, draws back and throws the last apple. As it arcs through the air towards them, the second woman brings up her hand and points at the apple. A glowing orb of energy flies from her hand and strikes the apple, causing it to explode, raining bits of apple down on the road and buildings around them. The man's face changes, anger joined by fear, looking like he's trying to decide if running or attacking is better course of action. The second woman has started chanting again, her hand glowing, her eyes narrowing. This woman steps in front of her, placing herself between her love and their attacker. She touches her face, gently stroking it while whispering calming words, a kiss. This woman's countenance changes. She calms, her eyes softening, her lips regaining the lost smile. The first woman smiles again as well and kisses the other. "Wizard scum," the man behind them says, and the two women turn to face him, staring him down defiantly. They join hands and begin walking again, moving past him without so much as a sideways glance. Wow. That is a lot for them. You see a key turn gently, steady, and hear a ghostly click as the door swings inward. Two figures slip in, locking the door behind them, and begin their prowl. Their hunt is efficient, and it takes them little time to acquire a sizable collection of documents in oddly shaped velvet pouches. Quick hands fill the pockets, rucksacks, bags. The door opens downstairs and everything freezes. Footsteps, a tired giggle. The thieves are all eyed white and short breaths as they empty their pockets of all but the necessities. Anything noisy hurriedly replaced. Silence from downstairs and tentative steps up the staircase. A voice calls out. One thief creeps forward, the other gesticulating wildly for him to return. He continues forward, crouching by the banister. He sees a gaudy shoe and shoves the woman, falls with a cut-off scream, rolling lifelessly to the floor below. Swearing, the second thief grabs her brother and they make their escape, collecting whatever value they can on their way out. So they killed somebody. So the first person was more of a lover and the second person was more of a hater. Doesn't look like there's any way to enter that home. But we'll actually head over to the mill. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shouting emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards come through the door gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Sweener. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lad, but we'll be back, Trumbull. And we'll have fair prices, or by the flame, we'll have a reckoning. Alright. So I guess that's what we'll do first, is we'll investigate the feud. So hopefully none of us get shot. An elven man stands before you. his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on. I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates and lowers his club. Wait. I know you. You came into town, right? Don't tell me Sweemer's already got his claws onto you. God, that's all I need. My name is SkormsGhost. I've only just arrived in Gilded Vale. Crumble shakes his head. He picked a bad time to come visiting the Gilded Vales. Had all its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Tina's thinking he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What was that? What was all that ruckus outside? Crumble shakes his head. Where to begin? Sweemer's wiped them up into a frock, going on about grain stores. Claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swiner and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on your way into town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers. Crumple gestured to the stacks in the containers. It's gone off. Rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Sweeney's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I ought to go have a talk with Swiner then. The miller all but sagged with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore. Or maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time here, and we'll have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in debt for it, if you can convince him. Alright. I'll go and resolve it. Okay, I found him. He's right here.
Hello.
Don't know who you are, and don't care much. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Alas narrows his eyes. Careful. Looks like they're cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. Smells like it too. I saw you outside the mill. What was that about? Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, eh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull thinking he's king of the town on account of he's got the mill to his name. The dwarf jowls quiver with rage. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him, and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's about farmers going hungry while bastards get rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. Now shove off. What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? Swiner considers it briefly. He looked to the others. Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and might be I'll feel up to trading words.
Greetings.
I'd like to buy around for the fine fellas over there. Fine fellas, you're having me on? Any more fighting and I'll have to ban swine from the inn entirely. The innkeeper frowns. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. Here you are. Right then. Here. 3 drinks for 3 fools. Just take care with them. They're a hot-tempered bunch.
Greetings.
You again. What do you want now? Well, I said I'd get drinks for you guys, so here you go. I brought drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame, I never thought I'd be so happy for a mug of Blackhound ship beer. God, that's good. Alright, then you got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Maybe you could tell me more what's going on. It's like I said, the miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for a fact that folks like Offa pay half what we do, dwarf style, and maybe we've been a bit rough with them. But what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying. We're going to starve, and do you think Trumble's going to be sorry about it when we do? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against the wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Juana eyed you for a few long moments, drinking deep from his mug. Then he sighs. You're right. Things go on like they are. We just about end up hanging from that tree out there. He looked at his comrade. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Don't know what we'll do now with the crop failing. Haven't got another tree to speak of. Think Pasca needs a hand around the inn? Well, maybe she might need a hand around the inn.
Good day to you.
Farewell.
How do you do?
Trumbull nods a curt greeting. You're back. Have any luck with Swiner? I spoke to Swiner. Trumbull takes a deep breath. And? What did he say? I've convinced him to leave your family in peace. Why? That's great news. I wasn't sure you'd go through to him. They're out of their minds with drinks half the time. I owe you a great debt. Here. He pulls a coin purse from his hip and pushes it towards you. Today's earning to show my appreciation, and you can be sure I'll let everyone know what you've done for me. I'm not going to take his earnings. Keep it. You're having a hard enough time. You're a gracious friend. We'll have to thank you for making it through the coming years. Safe travels, and may you find favor with the gods. Alright everyone, returning to the Black Hound. I'm gonna call this an episode. So far we've helped the miller resolve his dispute with the drunkard. And once again, thank you for joining me as I play this game. Until next time.